Alright, I think that's about enough music. It's time to get on into the game itself. So, hello world, I'm ComputerHeat. I'm unpausing because I'm doing a solo cast. And this is a game between Quentin, Feel Memory Acceptance, Love Glory Peace, and LeeJaeDong, who may or may not be the real LeeJaeDong, who I'll probably just call Lee throughout this cast. But, I don't really know anything about StarCraft 2, so I had to look up who this guy was and why people were making a fuss about him in the replay section of COH2.org. But, yeah. He is, uh, if this is the true, LeeJaeDong, and he is a, StarCraft 2 pro, and I looked him up. I assume he's Korean given his name, but can't say for sure. Anyway, just wanted to get in a couple of casts this morning. Had a few replays submitted by some viewers. This is not one of them, so this is the shortest one that I had sitting in my replay inventory, and wanted to get a look at it because it sounded interesting, and use it as a warm-up before casting game that was sent in. So, man, the ones that people send in are so long, so I'll probably only get to do one of them before I have to go off and do some work. But, yeah, we're actually seeing some interesting play right away here at the beginning. Quentin is laying down some of the reinforced barbed wire across all of the hay bales that provide green cover as you cross the road. So it looks like he's going to try to set up his truck really quickly, maybe go for an extremely aggressive battle group headquarters. He's about to connect this territory through the middle via the VP, and you can see the truck beginning to move. He hasn't captured the munitions point yet, so he can't actually set up the truck in the sector where the truck is sitting right now. Capturing the fuel, and he's not actually connected to any of these territories over here. I'm not sure if he meant to do that or if that was accidental building crush. The truck is now sitting down back here, so maybe Quentin was keeping his truck in this area just to do some pushing in case Lee started to get aggressive. Rather passive play from Lee at the moment. He's not trying to push onto Quentin's side of the map, but we can see some riflemen coming out of the house and a few others setting up in flanking position, but Quentin is hidden behind this hedgerow, though. Now he's going to know exactly where he is, and the rifles are in a good position to beat the Stern Pioneers from Quentin. Rear echelon troops fighting against some Volksgrenadiers up at the top as the Stern Pioneers run on back to base, and Quentin's getting into position to try to repulse this attack. Good use of volley fire is going to let the rear echelon troops come in and take down the possibly decap this sector. The Volksgrenadiers are pinned and really should just retreat. I mean, they're not going to be able to do anything to take casualties at the moment. Now Quentin is totally cut off. His battle group headquarters, he did start constructing that, so he's going to be able to use it, or it's going to be able to complete construction. I'm not actually sure if you can reinforce from it when it's cut off. We may find out. And Lee has made a nice attack. He can continue attacking the battle group headquarters, though I don't think he's got enough time to actually take it down. And Quentin is reduced to 0 territory sectors. He picked the Luftwaffe ground forces commander. He's gotten himself an MG-34, so that will help to take his cutoff back once again. I think this is a really smart of Lee to try to just push in, go for the throat as quickly as possible, because this map can turn into such a nightmare when you're playing as US against OKW. OKW, as we saw again and again during the recent $1,000 tournament, can very easily set up around this sector, and with a flak headquarters and battle group headquarters, they can really just operate almost with impunity, and it's extremely hard to harass the right side of the map, and even to contest the middle VP. So I'm trying to go for as big an early advantage as you can get as US is key to playing on this map. He's gotten himself a second machine gun, and always a good choice on Longraskaya and in Longra in the past. Quentin's taking his cutoff back, so now he's got all of the right side of the map again, those high resource sectors. And Lee is going to need to start backing off a bit. He's got an AA half-track building. And we can see the lieutenant coming up has gotten on the gotten up behind the machine gun. Machine gun's packing up quickly, so it'll probably... Whoa, he's not actually retreating it, he's just soft pedaling away. I'm surprised he's not taking more damage as he's crossing that road. Two squads of riflemen fighting the OKW infantry in the center, and if Lee changes his targeting priority, he could maybe kill the Stern Pioneer on retreat, but looks like it's too late for that to happen, and he's just going to focus on the machine gun. Machine gun hasn't yet suppressed the rifles in the center, and the half-track has arrived. Well, he's taken quite a lot of damage on his squads in the last few minutes. Wow, I am really amazed that the lieutenant didn't do more damage to that machine gun. Rear echelon squads using volley fire, which will probably suppress these Volks, although maybe he'll just throw a grenade and kill the squad outright. Oh, they're taking a lot of damage. Volksrangers are suppressed, but there's a machine gun to return the favor, and looks like Lee will probably stay in the sector in order to capture the fuel. There he does, and now let's go see what's happening in the center. Machine gun is cleared by the AA half-track, but I don't think that he's going to be able to go in and steal that. There's too much German infantry around. Quentin's feeling the pressure clearly. He's getting himself a Raketenwerfer. He's about to have enough to get himself some Panzerschrecks, and he's going to need all the firepower that he can get to fight off this AA half-track and keep the pin from going in once again. Have an ambulance coming up as well for the healing that's very badly needed. And this AA half-track is set up very nicely to to fight off the sorry, I'm getting distracted by Steam messages. I need to reply to that one. Alright, back to the action. Quentin's managed to hold on to his cutoff while the riflemen occupy this house. I'm a little surprised that Quentin, with his truck over here, didn't just knock this house down. He was planning on taking it for himself. And you see the first Panzerschreck from Quentin. AA half-track starts firing on that squad immediately. They aren't suppressed, so they might be able to get off a Panzerschreck, but actually it sails by harmlessly, and now they're in danger of going down as they retreat back to base. Looks like they're going to make it away just fine. Once again, Lee is going for the cutoff. Nearly manages to white it with his lieutenant before he's forced to retreat by the combination of the Stern Pioneers and the MG-34. At the same time, Quentin is using a squad of Volksgrenadiers to start capturing the left side of the map. Just, I don't know if that's because he feels that he can, he's got a good cordon and can hold off, can hold the American forces at bay, or if he's just so desperate for territory that he feels like he needs to send one of his combat squads over there. Now let's see, I bet there's a major in production, and there is a major in production. Quentin is probably trying to save up to get his tier 4 right now, my guess. Oh, a half-track goes down, that's a big loss right there. I wonder if Lee will choose to rebuild that, or if he's just going to hold out to go for major tier vehicles. You can see he doesn't quite have enough fuel to get anything out of there yet. So that the loss of that half-track is going to give Quentin the room that he needs, the breathing room that he needs to come back and take back his side of the map and maybe start even pushing, well, consolidate what he's got and then begin to push over onto the left. Looks like Lee is getting ready to make some kind of flank. If you weren't saving up for a vehicle, I think that grenades might actually be useful, just so that he could nullify these machine guns a bit by throwing smoke grenades on top of them and then just charging past. He's managed to get past this one machine gun, which is completely not firing at anything, and Lee is able to make an extremely aggressive push up onto the machine gun, which is trying to soft retreat, and this rifle squad will probably move in onto the cutoff. Wow, everything is heading on back to base, and now the Raketenwerfer's in a bit of trouble. Stern Pioneers are deep, and looks like we got a... Oh no, that's actually a bad retreat path. Once again, Quentin has lost his cutoff to Lee, and the Raketenwerfer pushes a huge pile of bodies out of the way on his retreat back to base. And the Stern Pioneers should probably just get out of this house and start heading back over to the battle group headquarters. Oh, they completely retreat. Soft retreat may have been a better move. A rifle squad left alone up the cutoff, taking casualties unnecessarily. They do retreat on back to base. Quentin's infantry is healing up near his battle group headquarters. And oh, I didn't look to see if he could reinforce while in cutoff territory. Volksgrenadiers are charging up for the middle VP, and the machine gun looks like it's going to be tasked with recapturing the cutoff. Sherman is now in production, and Quentin is going to have a hard time dealing with that with just the Raketenwerfer and a squad of Panzerschrecks. He's a long, long way off from being able to afford any kind of anti-tank vehicle. I'm wondering if he wouldn't have been better off actually just getting himself a Jagdpanzer. As it is, he may need to get himself another Raketenwerfer. He's getting himself oversoldaten right now. He doesn't have enough munitions to get... so he has gotten himself a new squad, or a second squad of Panzerschrecks. He's a long, long way off from being able to get any more than that. And the Oversoldaten will be able to do well against these riflemen. He still hasn't picked a commander. I'm going to guess that if he hasn't done that yet, then he's probably going to go for airborne. Rifleman coming up into this extremely damaged house. It goes down entirely predictably, and that's a nice win for Quentin right there. Terrible move by Lee. That was just... I can't believe that he got into that house. So obviously nearly destroyed, and this is the first... As soon as that squad popped in, the Panzerschreck immediately killed them. So although Lee says that he's new to the game, he has changed the high explosive rounds to fight with these to fight this infantry. I actually wonder if maybe a fast M8A1 wouldn't have been a better choice. Let's keep one of them back here. Of course, it's much weaker, or has much less health and armor than the Sherman, but is really great at killing these clumped up infantry. Lieutenant squad in a bit of trouble, and LeeJaeDong retreats them on back to base. A machine gun in this building could have been useful as well, but Lee doesn't have a whole lot of manpower available to him. And it looks like he's saving up to get himself another Sherman. Vehicle crew looks like they're getting sacrificed to just charge up into the center. I don't think that's really the best use of them. You know, he couldn't use them just for harassment, capturing territory sectors on the left side of the map. It looks like he's choosing instead to just sacrifice them. And down they go. Yeah, could have had them fill the role that rear echelon troops usually play, and instead keep the rear echelon troops up. to use volley fire and try to suppress maybe a Volksgrenadier squad that's out in the open trying to shoot Panzerschrecks at the Sherman. Oh, time to cough. Sherman takes a couple of hits and backs away a little bit. Takes a few more hits and yeah, another thing the vehicle crew would have been useful for is helping to repair this Sherman. Second Sherman's in production. Yeah, I think just sacrificing that squad was a real short-sighted move. He's moving up to take back the southern side of the map and is claiming the middle VP. At this point, I really feel like Lee should start getting some kind of rifleman upgrades, either bars or I still think grenades could be useful with all of the machine guns around. He can also put down smoke to cover himself from getting shot at by the Schwer Panzer headquarters, since it's not like you can give that thing attack orders. Lieutenant's over by himself on the right, trying to fight off some Sturm Pioneers, but Obersoldaten are going to come put an end to that mission. More rifles coming up out of the base, taking shots at the Obersoldaten, but looks like the Lieutenant's just going to die here. If he's really unlucky, they'll drop the bars. They do. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, Lieutenant gets Vet 3 and dies as the two Shermans come up into the center. Quentin now has 3 squads of Panzerschrecks. Panzerschrecked up Volksgrenadiers, and 1 Sherman goes down after contributing exactly nothing to the battle. Raketenwerfer's cleared, and Sherman's going to be forced to back away. Way too much anti-tank fire coming in for him to deal with that. And I think it's time for Lee to pick a commander. Getting himself some going airborne, getting himself some paratroopers with light machine guns would be really useful for fighting this infantry. Quentin lost the Obersoldaten squad. Didn't see what killed it, but with them down, a squad or 2 of paratroopers with light machine guns would be extremely useful. Instead, he's choosing to get his lieutenant back. I don't think that's such a great pick. The paratroopers are a much better pick, just in terms of the crazy DPS that they can do with their upgrades. Machine gun is chased off, and riflemen, Vet 3 riflemen at close range against Sturm Pioneers, might like their chances when they've got a Sherman behind them. See, Lee just spent a bunch on, looks like, on reinforcement, and very, very cautiously placed forward retreat point. Perhaps up behind the hedge over here would be a little more useful for him. Rear echelon squad looks like they may be getting sacrificed. And he missed his chance to claim the Raketenwerfer for himself. Rear echelon squad retreats, and the new lieutenant and riflemen push up. And we can see that Quentin looks like he's trying to save up for a Panther, so no big surprise here. Tier 1, Tier 4, Panther, quote, rush. But, yeah, I think if Lee keeps playing like this, he is going to lose. I think he needs to start changing his strategy a bit, just making these Shermans. Well, he's only got the 1 Sherman right now. Looks like he's maybe going to go for a. He needs more manpower before he can get any vehicle, but probably just going to go get himself a 2nd Sherman. After losing the last one, so did so little. Lieutenant gamely trying to hold off all these squads from the house in the center, take 2 casualties, and has to retreat. Quentin, now with 2 VPs under his control and his squad starting to gain more and more vet, is probably feeling like he's in a pretty comfortable position after being in really kind of dire straits in the early part of the game. Quentin is now possibly able to come back into this. Ooh, he needs to keep his squads alive. He's going to have a chance of that. 14 CPs in the bank and still no commander pick from Lee. Almost 700 munitions saved up. I really hope that he goes airborne. I think that is by far the best pick right now. When the inevitable Panther comes out, he'll be able to use P-47 strikes and how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 rifle squads. Okay, maybe bars. It's something he should be going for right now. He has had. I don't want to say. I don't want to speak too highly of his infantry preservation. He did lose the lieutenant squad earlier, but other than that, I don't think there's been a single squad loss except for the vehicle crew that was sacrificed. His vehicle crews have, or his vehicles have been dying a bit unnecessarily. Sherman charging rather suicidally forward. Rear echelon troops are trying to retreat, getting cut down by Oversoldaten as they do. A couple of big hits onto the Sherman. Knocks off half of its health right away. Oh, Sherman takes a huge beating right there. And Lee does still have a healthy fuel income. And looks like... Okay, I thought he canceled his Sherman, but no, it's arrived. He's just repairing the other one with the crew. And Quentin is, for the first time, beginning to move on to Lee's side of the map. Looks like those Volksgrenadiers are trying to salvage that wreck and took a couple of quick casualties from the Sherman. Lieutenant chased off by the MG-34, and that's one of those situations where had he teched grenades earlier, he could have thrown down smoke or even tried his luck throwing a frag grenade on top of that machine gun squad and not been forced to retreat. Center VP being capped, but these riflemen are not in any cover. Oh man, they even get Shrek sniped. Bad luck there.
We're losing a capture point.
I cannot imagine that Quentin is going to actually build his repair truck over here with the another Shrek snipe. And Quentin's actually going to build his repair truck. He's surely holding out for a Panther. He nearly has enough fuel, and actually, yes, 175, as I thought. Nearly has enough fuel, and just needs to get a bit more manpower before he can do that. Quentin's beginning to lay down mines. So yeah. Good choice now that he's gotten all of the Panzer Shreks he's probably going to want. He's even upgrading a 4th squad with Panzer Shreks. I mean, he's so close to getting himself a Panther, I'm not even really sure why he got that extra Volksgrenadier squad. Yeah, this is the kind of situation where you really want to have the M8A1 just sitting in the background, firing shots in and clearing these squads out as they're all clumped up on each other, or at least inflicting manpower damage. Looks like rear echelon squad went down for Lee, and all of Quentin's forces are moving up towards the so much green cover. All of Quentin's forces are moving up towards Lee's cutoff, and this is such an aggressive move. I guess. Oh. Yeah, these squads, as clumped up as they are, they're really vulnerable to the high explosive shots from the Sherman. They do possess, well, certainly enough firepower to kill the Shermans, but provided they get those first shots off. Crews are starting to pop out and repair the tanks, and Lee has all of his units clumped up. And they're now beginning to spread out, and okay, they're not really spreading out, they are starting to move out. No commander pick. No commander pick, no infantry upgrades. Once again, I really think this is a mistake. He's got so much munitions. He could be throwing grenades all over the place and upgrading all of his squads with bars. 171 fuel. He's clearly saving up for another vehicle, or just unsure of what to do right now. Oh man, the Panther is going to be extremely brutal when it comes out. easily in conjunction with these Panzerschrecks able to push back the Shermans, and there's not a whole lot that Lee's going to be able to do about it. Actually, Quentin's getting himself another squad of Volksgrenadiers. Maybe he's comfortable with what he's got and wants to try to hold out for a King Tiger instead. And Lee makes the inexplicable choice, oh my god, please hit, of going for Armor Company. Okay, so that artillery barrage was dropped down here, so these squads are still vulnerable. Oh man, he's gotten some lucky hits with this. A whole bunch of casualties on that Volksgrenadier squad. I believe they in fact got killed, and oh my god, second Volksgrenadier squad. Oh, not killed. That's lucky. This guy that's retreating right now was hung up on a corpse back here, so second squad only nearly killed. Oh, there's your unlucky lottery roll. The I think that was the final shell. No, there's still one more shell from the 240mm howitzer barrage. Kills one of LeeJaeDong's rifle squads as it was retreating from the fight. And that's the conclusion of that rather impressive salvo from the 240mm barrage. I think it out and out killed 3 squads, nearly killed a 4th one, and it was only the final shot that didn't actually really do any damage. Jackson is now out for Lee. So, I mean, that makes it look like he only got the got Armor Company just to get that artillery. Although, ooh, Shoe Mine kills 3 members of the rifle squad, but if he gets himself a howitzer Sherman, or I always call it the howitzer Sherman, 105 bulldozer Sherman, then that could be really useful against all of the infantry that he's facing. Oh, Sherman gets killed and bruise up nicely. I love that effect that they added in the Western Front Armies expansion. So Quentin's actually lost 2 squads of Volksgrenadiers in the last couple of minutes. He has managed to recover all of the Panzerschrecks that he's dropped, and retain the veterancy on 2 of the squads, both the Vet 5 squads. Wow, those sailed really far. It's too bad that Lee didn't use attack move to destroy this Sherman wreck in the center. That's just going to be free resources for Quentin. Who has 260 fuel at the moment. He's just going straight infantry spam, it looks like. Doesn't even feel the need to get any vehicles. Apparently the top gunner cannot be turned into fuel. More shoe mines going down. And so bulldozer Sherman, okay, I think that's pretty good. So got a regular Sherman, got a bulldozer Sherman, and got a Jackson. The Jackson doesn't have anything to shoot at though, so it's not going to be particularly useful. And it looks like Quentin is trying to go for a King Tiger now that he's building his. Oh my God, he's almost going to have enough fuel for the King Tiger once the once Tier 2 is up. Oh man, Lieutenant loses a whole bunch of squad members as it steps on a shoe mine, but it does prevent the one of the Sherman bulldozer from doing the same. Sherman is charging up the middle, takes a huge amount of damage from the Panzerschreck squads and the Rakettenwerfer artillery coming in. I don't see this Sherman getting out of here alive. First artillery shell falls harmlessly. Sherman gets destroyed. 105 still present to start laying in some shots. A miss, however, and it backs away to safety, perhaps? Rakettenwerfer is cleared by the 105, or the howitzer barrage. And this Sherman needs to keep going. Not out of danger yet. Main gun destroyed. And the Sherman's going to need to go all the way back to base. Still might even get killed. Those Panzerschrecks have really nasty long-range accuracy. Ambulance is taken out. And Quentin's going to retreat on back to base. So although Quentin lost quite a lot of infantry in that last fight, he's going to be able to get them all back I don't think he lost any full squads, while one rifle squad got killed at the Obersoldaten down near the Jackson. And oh, the lieutenant did make it back. But the loss of the 2 tanks is pretty bad for Lee, and now he's going to be left without. The only anti-tank he's going to have will be rifle anti-tank grenades and this Jackson against what will certainly be a King Tiger as soon as Quentin can save up enough manpower to call it in. Quentin's got plenty of time to get that King Tiger. He's got 1 VP under his control, and he's probably about to take back the. Surely he's about to take back the center. You see that Lee managed to take one of the MGs, but it's about to get killed with these Obersoldaten. Down it goes. I'm sure there's someone. Screaming like, "Oh, OKWOP!" I just want to point out that Lee had such a huge advantage in the early part of this game, and he did not capitalize on it very well at all. He lost his flak half track. That was bad, although not, that happens when you're in the middle of a fight. But he's made a lot of really questionable decisions. He's got so many munitions. He could have gotten himself some paratroopers and put LMGs on them and just really, really put in the hurt on these Volksgrenadiers while he had the chance. As it is, he hasn't even gotten bars or any kind of infantry upgrades for his riflemen, and they're suffering badly for it. Just leaving lots of room for Quentin to get, easily take territory and retreat on back. The Obersoldaten have been allowed to do lots of damage to his squads. I mean, a lot of that's just been carelessness on Lee's part, leaving squads to kind of get shot at for too long and then they get killed. So I mean, he did say that he's not been playing this for very long. Anyway, long story short, oh, this lieutenant looks like he's being sacrificed to call in some artillery on the battle group headquarters, but there's no way that Quentin's going to let that hit any of his guys. First shell falls harmlessly, well, nearly harmlessly, does a little bit of damage to the battle group headquarters, and you can see that the bulldozer Sherman is now attempting to take the battle group headquarters down, but even if he does do that, it's not really going to matter. Quentin's King Tiger is almost halfway complete, and that is going to be something that Lee cannot deal with at all. And he can get himself another Jackson. He's still going to have trouble dealing with the infantry just because his rifleman squads aren't doing enough damage. See the Obersoldaten get Vet 4, hop over this tiny piece of fence, I guess just to show off their athleticism. And I think the bulldozer Sherman is chasing off the machine gun in the south. These riflemen are just getting murdered. The Major has even been called up to start capturing territory. He's gotten Vet 2 somehow throughout this, despite being rather far from the action for most of the game. And the King Tiger has arrived. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, what a bad time to call in another bulldozer Sherman. Obersoldaten are taking the center VP, and I have difficulty imagining that we will get another. Oh, that looks so cool. I forget what that skin is called, but it's so badass. The chocolate chip cookie skin. And Quentin could probably... Oh my god, King Tiger just TKs 3 guys out of the Volksgrenadier squad. They're going to need to retreat. Oh, finishes off a rifle squad from the front. And this KT can probably just be safely given an attack move order to the center of Lee's base. I'm surprised Quentin's being so conservative with it, to be honest. Maybe he's waiting for his Volksgrenadiers to come back up so that he can engage the Jackson on the more effective. Oh, the Jackson takes a huge hit from the King Tiger, and its shot deflects off the frontal armor of the KT. Looks like major artillery coming on the battle group headquarters, but honestly, that's just a waste of munitions at this point. Quentin has just got his army sitting in his base because, you know, why even risk it?
Commanders, be advised. Troop level barrage now available.
More squads capturing up, trading territories. Major is getting extremely brave, and the King Tiger is about to be joined by a few more squads. I'm surprised. Oh, Quentin moved this squad out of the base before it finished fully reinforcing. Not that it really matters, since the machine gun is the light machine gun does the bulk of the damage from that squad. Sounds like more heavy artillery coming in onto the battle group headquarters, and you can see that airborne assault is being used over here. Pins a whole bunch of squads. The KT can just drive over them right now. And here come the Fallschirmjäger. Perhaps put a damaged engine onto this. They get in a couple of shots of retreating squads. Take 2 casualties from the Bulldozer Sherman, and they are firing a Panzerfaust that goes in on the Jackson. And the KT's actually pretty badly damaged. Yeah, this is the place where if Lee had gone airborne, he could have called in a P-47 strike and killed all of the killed the KT. Lee has lost his cutoff now, and the Sherman's going to try to get it back for him. It's actually in a good spot to do a lot of damage, apart from the KT shooting at his butt. And I think this game is not going to last a whole lot longer. Oh my god, Bulldozer gets abandoned. And Jackson's fully repaired, with only 1 squad of Volksgrenadiers with, sorry, all of those squads have retreated. So the Jackson's gonna try to do some extreme RNG crits onto the King Tiger. King Tiger gets Vet 1, uses Blitzkrieg to back out of there. Quentin playing very conservatively with that, doesn't want to lose it. And LeeJaeDong calls GG, well played. So, very strong early game from LeeJaeDong, but he wasn't able to really capitalize on that, and I think that was just his own damn fault, to be honest. And yeah, let's see. I think I got it in me to do one more cast. I have another long one queued up, so I'm gonna put on some music and go to that.